Hello everyone, this is Joe and this is the weekend market update. We're going to take a look at the Nasdaq Composite daily and weekly charts. Very active move, especially on Friday. Saved the week actually. Check in on one of my key indicators and then check in on 5 very active Nasdaq stocks. Amazon, Facebook, Apple, Celgene, and Tesla. So stay tuned. All right, let's start off here with the Nasdaq Composite. It was up 144 points on Friday, and right now this is the wave count that I've got on it. It is in the 5th minor wave up, and we're talking about the 5th minor wave within the 5th intermediate wave. This is a 5-wave move from that February 2016 low that we've been in, that all the indices bottomed in February, January-February timeframe. So now, as we're pushing higher in here, I believe that we are working 5 waves in here, 5 minute waves, and that we're in the 5th minor wave that we just, or 5th minute wave that we just took off in this week. Now, this big move, we're watching to see, do we get some continuation out of this thing from the move on Friday? Let's take a look on the weekly chart, and you can see it was up 72.2 points for the week. So Friday salvaged the week. Friday was up 144 points, but it was only up 72 for the week. And you can see the big trading range that occurred in here for the week. Vastly overwhelmed, the trading range of the previous 2 weeks where we had just little doji candles. But the trend continues to the upside, still trending above that 10-week moving average. It has not broken down yet. So that's the picture on the Nasdaq Composite. And when you look at the high-low index on the Nasdaq, it's interesting that it did break this trend line. And this was a trend line of the rally from early August to the peak that occurred here, when was this? Early October. So about a 2-month move here in the high-low index. And then we broke that trend line on October, well, I guess it was around the 13th and 13th to 16th. I would say the 16th. So where was the 16th? 16th was right here. Okay, so this is when the high-low index started to break down and broke this move in here. And actually, the move I'm talking about is on the high-low from here, from down here in early August to this point, and then we started to break down. Now, we didn't get much of a move in the composite, at least as of right now, and mainly because of what we just saw here. But again, we need follow-through in here. We need this to hold above these highs back in here, or this has the potential to break down. And I'll talk about that because here's what I'm seeing when you look at Amazon. Huge move to the upside, big volume, breaking above the previous high over here, which was back in July. And again, it needs to hold up here, because what I've seen, and there's no guarantee on anything, okay? But what I've seen that many times, when you break above a previous high, especially like a 20-day high or so, it needs to hold it, or if it doesn't and it starts breaking and trading back below it, you're either going to get a stall out or a reversal, okay? And all you got to do is glance back and say, okay, well, here was the situation where it occurred back here. And of course, you're going to find some, and you're going to find some where it failed. But, when it gets into an uptrend, you can see that when it breaks above a previous 20-day high, like right in here, it holds that previous 20-day high and continues to push. That's what starts a good trend movement, okay? So that's what we need to see here on Amazon. And it's happening in a lot of the stock. Facebook, similar type thing. Now, it didn't close above that high all that much. The high was 176.74. We were only, $1.10 or something above it. But, nice big move on Facebook, continues to trend up. This little pattern over here is interesting. I really thought that Facebook was going to put another leg in mirroring this leg. I really thought we were going to get like here, the pullback, and then a breakout and taking this straight up again. And then it just stalled out. Broke down, got outside the Keltner channel. It's the extreme level here, and it's rallied. But again, it seems to be struggling. So again, it's pretty critical that this sees some continuation to the upside if the bulls are going to stay in control. Apple, similar type thing, but not at new high level, at least not yet. Now, the other thing I've noticed on Apple, I mean, we got a little bit of mixed signals. I've got this is the blue line's the 10 exponential. This is 21 simple, 55 simple, and this is the 233 simple. I use Fibonacci numbers for the longer term moving averages. The trigger line is my 10 exponential. So what I'm seeing right now, we're getting a little bit of mixed signals in here. And yeah, we got this big pop with the move on Nasdaq. And what is this trend line here? This trend line is like a 1.5-year trend for Apple from the low back here in May of 2016. And this whole movement, and here's the key pullbacks that occurred in here. And it broke down out of that. Now we could be getting just a pullback to it, but it's going to be testing that previous high in the process if it continues to pull back up to that trend line. So going to be watching that and see how the price, how it reacts. Celgene, we all know about what happened on Celgene and the impact on IBB this week. Celgene, oh my gosh. I mean, this is just a crash. I mean, there's just no other way to describe it. It broke this trend line in here, about a 4-month trend line, broke a longer term trend line from about a year, about 12-month, and then it just shattered this much longer term trend line in here, which goes back multi-year, and it just shattered that with the movement on Thursday and staying down on Friday. So this, let's just take a look at where we're at with this thing. We're at the 95. The low on Thursday was down at the 95 level. Well, that's where it seemed to have gotten support, or very close to that, multiple times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're here again, and we are way outside the Keltner channels. See this dotted line is the Keltner channels, okay, that has a tendency to, I use this for a measure of volatility extremes, okay. This is two average true ranges outside of a 20 exponential moving average. And this is really, really at an extreme. So I would not be surprised to see a significant bounce back. But now the question is, where's it going to bounce back to? Okay, what, like to this trend line here, this long, very long-term trend line, and then start to have some of these kick in as resistance. So we'll just have to watch and see. But right now, it definitely, I mean, it has shattered longer-term trend lines. So pretty negative on Celgene. Tesla. Tesla did not do anything this week in terms of, with the Nasdaq. Here's what happened on Friday. It was down 5 points on Friday, and Nasdaq was up big, and all those stocks we just looked at, except Celgene, was up high. But here's what I'm expecting with longer term. I'm still very bullish on Tesla, but I still believe we are in a big corrective move, and I think it's a big flat, okay, an Elliott wave flat corrective pattern. That's A, B, came back to the beginning of A, and then now I'm expecting C at a minimum to be 100% of A, which would be this level, and it may extend all the way down here to 138% of the length of A. Okay, so that's a real possibility. This dotted blue line right here is the top of intermediate wave 1. Okay, I don't want to see it. Wave 4 cannot overlap wave 1, so I'm not expecting it to go below 270 at the max. And so right now we are in a third primary wave up, very strong move. 1, 2, 3, getting a corrective move, which is, because we had this zigzag pullback here, we're getting this sideways flat correction. And now the real question is, how much further back is this going to pull down in here? We just have to watch. Should get some decent support right in here, but the real question is, will that hold? Okay, so that's the picture on Tesla, and those were 5 very active stocks this week. All right, that's it for this weekend's market update. And if you felt like the video was helpful, hit the thumbs up button and head on over to joehenches.net. Check out the other posts and things I've got for you over there. So until next time, stay focused, follow your plan, and trade without fear. Have a great weekend, everyone.